Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches. And my name is Kelly, and I'm very excited to finally be bringing you my July update. I'm a couple days late. Today is Wednesday, August 2nd, so just a couple days. This is going to be my Flosstube update number 21, I believe. 21? It'll be correct in the upload. And it's gonna be my July wrap up. I've got tons to share with you today, so let's just dive right into it, because this is probably gonna be a long video. I personally love long videos, but you may want to go get yourself some coffee, go get yourself some well, depending on the time of day, get yourself a little cocktail, whatever you want, and just get your stitching in and just hang out with me for a little bit. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you so much for being here. If you are just stopping by for the first time and giving my channel a try, welcome. I so appreciate your interest and curiosity and that one little click that you did on my video. I hope that you find something that you like, that you want to come back and see again and again. And then to all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here again. I just adore you guys. I feel like it's been like ages since I made a video, even though it's just been a month. But July was like stupid busy. I don't know if anybody else had this scenario, but like my July was wild. I started with my birthday. I got sick. I had friends come into town to visit. I had a coworker pass away, and then I went to his funeral. I picked up extra shifts at work because I'm an idiot, but very reliable. And then I've had friends announce the pregnancies. I've had friends announce tragedies. We had like the ceiling of my department caved in at work because some plumbing leaks became very big leaks. So basically I ran like the emotional gambit this month, and I was so busy. So I'm actually really impressed that I managed to have anything to show you at all, because like I said, July was like crazy, and I'm crossing my fingers that August just bores me to tears because I could use a break. Also, for those of you that are new here, you may notice behind me that I do have a design wall. I am a quilter as well. I film a quilting video for every Flosstube video, and so keep your eyes peeled for that, because that will be coming up soon on the channel. If you are at all interested or curious about quilting, please feel free to go check those out. There's a lot of quilters out there, or even like new quilters that we just haven't found each other on the internet yet. So if you exist within that part of the crafty world, go check out my Quilter's Corner video. And if you're at all curious about what's going on back there, those videos will tell all. Okay, as per usual, we're gonna start with my reading update. If you don't know, I open every video with a reading update of the books that I've read for the past month. The Pages of Pages and Stitches is representative of my third passion, which is reading. And so I just like to show kind of what books I have read and what I'm currently reading. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, I don't really go into depth on what I think of the books that I'm reading, but if you follow me on Instagram, I do a post with all of the books that I've read, and then I kind of rate them as well. And then anybody who happens to have questions or has read the books that I've talked about, we tend to get into a little bit of a fun discussion in the comments regarding our thoughts. So if books are your thing too, feel free to check that out. So like I said, July was nuts. I had no time. So what does that mean? It means I did like no reading. I have one book to show you today, which never happens, and I've got about 30 pages read in that book. So this is gonna be a short reading update. This is the book that I'm currently working on. This is called Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is currently super popular right now, so you may have heard of it. Of the 30 pages that I've read, I'm already loving it. My best friend Mel, Melissa, she's also the person who gave me this shirt. Shout out, Melissa. is reading this book, and she was like, Kelly, get off your ass, go get it. And then I know EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers. She is, I believe she has read it because she talked about it in their last video about like how much about recommending it. So anyways, this is what I'm currently working on. It's gonna be a minute before I finish it, so it might also be an August read. So part of the reason, on top of everything else, why July was so crazy was because I set some lofty goals for myself this month. And I am really impressed with how much I was able to accomplish. So let's get into the whips and then we'll go from there. The first whip I want to show you, all of the regulars will be familiar with, is this one here. This is Woodland Castle by Designworks. It's a kit by Designworks. And originally my goal was to finish this by the end of July, by the end of this month, but I kind of had to stall out for a bit because of other things that took priority. I did not finish it this month, but I got really close. So this is being stitched on a 14 count white Aida 2/1 full cross using the using the kit materials. The good thing about Designworks is that they use DMC, so I'm familiar with the floss, and if I run out, I know where to go to replace it. And then let me insert a picture here of what it looked like the last time you saw it. I was down in that bottom little section, and I had just gotten to the halfway mark, just a little bit past it. And here is where I got to today. So, I was right in front of this little bunny last time, so I just put this section in. And that was my goal, because I could have gone from here and finished, but I would have had to neglect like everything else, because this is this is a decent amount of concentration and work that it requires to do this. So I gave myself some leeway, and I was like, just finish it at the end of August. So I made it, so I took that section and then I cut it in half, and my goal was just to get to that halfway point, which I did. So what has gone in was the rest of the pathway here in the front. These leaves, purple flowers, these yellow flowers, and then there's just some more like shadowy bits down here, and then the front of this trunk or like limb, maybe it's a root, I don't know, that the squirrel is sitting on. And I did get the back stitching started, but I kind of stalled right here because I wanted to get more of there's more flowers, and then there's a hedgehog that goes right here. So I wanted to get kind of all of that around the hedgehog in before I did the rest of this back stitching. So let's see. Yep. There it is. Isn't that awesome? And you know what I realized is I had this really cool moment while I was working in this area where I realized that I had put in certain colors for the last time. Like I was done with certain colors. So like all these reds, for example, there's a couple of them like in the centers of these flowers. Those are done. All these yellows, done. All of these oranges, the big bright oranges, done. There's like a couple more, I think there's 1 or 2 more purple flowers, and then everything else is green and brown. And so that was kind of a cool feeling. I don't use Pattern Keeper. This is being done with a paper pattern, so I guess it's like the equivalent of getting like a 0% on a color in Pattern Keeper. I don't know. That's what it felt like. So, yep, there she is. The goal, obviously, for next month is a finish. I just have this section. It's a very manageable amount. A fully finished object, probably not, because I don't really know I don't know how I want to frame it yet. I will be framing it on my own, but for now, I'm just aiming to get that stitching finished. So real quick, while we're talking about Woodland Castle, there have been a couple of my peers that have recently purchased the Woodland Castle kit or started working on it, which I think is amazing because I feel like it's such an underrated kit that does not get enough love. Beth of the Steadfast Stitcher, she recently purchased the kit and she's going to start it. I believe there's another one of her subscribers that is going to start it with her. And that heard on a couple of people on Instagram are also going to try and dive in. So while we're talking about it, I just thought, since obviously I've gone through the majority of it, I might give a few tips on how I've been able to make my progress. Because, and Beth commented on this in her most recent video, the paper pattern is tiny, is little bitty. So you have to, if you struggle seeing small things, or if you just prefer your patterns to be sized up so that you can get a clearer idea of what the symbols are, you're definitely going to have to do that, because it is a teen tiny pattern. Also, it doesn't have like a separate backstitching pattern, like it's all together. So some of the backstitching lines absolutely do cover up the symbols that you need to see. But, and I told this to Beth as well, this pattern is so forgiving that there were times where I'm like, I guess that's this symbol, and then I just figured it out. You know what I mean? Or whether it was right or wrong, you'll never tell by looking at it. It's so forgiving in that regard. Also, it's because it is a big pattern, the finished size is 14 by 18 on a 14 count Aida. If you wanted to put it on a smaller count, or yeah, like a smaller size Aida, which would be you know, like a 16, 18, 20, feel free. That's exactly what Beth's doing. She says she's thinking about putting it on an 18 count, and I think that's a great idea. It obviously will make the size a little bit more manageable, and the coverage will look great. I love a 2/1 coverage on an 18 count Aida. So other than blowing up the pattern, downsizing your Aida count, I would also recommend 1000% backstitch as you go. The backstitching, like the amount of it in this pattern is banana sandwich. Like it's really, it's so intense. It's so much. So if you're the type of person who likes to leave all the backstitching at the end, you might lose your marbles doing that part of the process, because there's so much. So what I did was I took the pattern, the paper pattern, I folded it down, and it broke it kind of into smaller sections. And so what I would do is I stitch in that section, and then before I flipped my paper over, I would go backstitch that section. And the great thing about backstitching, obviously, is because it really brings things to life. So it was cool to see blobs of color no longer be blobs of color. Suddenly they're birds and leaves and flowers. And if you save it all till the end, it might just look like a little bit of a muddled mess until you get the backstitching in. Well, I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can totally do it that way. There's no cross stitch, please. But my recommendation is that you backstitch as you go. And the only other thing I want to tell you about that pattern is I did run out of one of the colors, which was the darkest brown, the 3371, I guess is the number, which is what they do, what it's charted all the backstitching in. So I don't know if that would be the case for everybody's kit, but just in case, maybe have an extra skein of that on the side. I had some in my stash, so I just pulled it out of my stash. Okay, so I'm moving on from Woodland Castle to my next focus project. So my next focus project that I did work on only a little bit is this one here. This is Ophelia by Mirabilia. She is my first and only mirror going right now, and I'm trying to have her finished before I go to the Queen City Stitch Retreat in October. If I don't get it finished in time, I'm still gonna bring her. Like, she's coming with me so I can work on her, and then maybe I can finish her at the retreat. I don't know. And I say that I might not finish her because, like, for example, this month I didn't put very many stitches in her, but it was because I was kind of really pulling and focusing on other things, which you'll see. Also, shout out Denise of Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. She waited out, did her time on the wait list for the retreat, the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and got a spot. And I'm so excited because I can't wait to meet Denise in person. It's going to be so much fun. Anyways, Ophelia. She is being stitched on a 32 count linen in the color dark olive. And then here is a picture of what she looked like the last time you saw her. So I'm currently working my way down the left side of the pattern and then now across the middle at the top. And here is where I got to this time. So you see, not much progress was made. I finished all up in this section in here, like I fleshed it out. It's all solid now. And then I just put this little bit in. So not, like I said, not too terribly much. But, I mean, all I have is this bit here. So I have more dress, so which kind of sits like this. And then more lily pads and roses, and then I'm done. So, the next time you see her, I definitely want to have more, like a better chunk of progress made on her. The reason why she didn't get as much love this month is because I was focusing on Woodland Castle, first of all, and then there's another project that I'm trying to push for a finish on before this one, so which you'll see in a bit. That's why she ultimately didn't get enough love, but I still love her. So for the next month, especially in September, that's when I'm going to be like pushing hard, because not only do I want to have all the stitching finished, I want my beading done too, because I haven't done any beading. So there we go. Okay, the next whip that I worked on this past month is this one right here. This is the Magical Creatures Calendar by Clouds Factory. I got this pattern on Etsy, but they do have an independent website as well. And this is being stitched on a 16 count lilac Aida, 2/1 full cross, using all the called for colors, plus the addition of some DMC light effects in certain colors, primarily the blue, green, red, and purple. So this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. I had just finished June's block, which is the dragon in the sky. So I'm trying to keep up with the month as we go through those months, and so far I've been able to do that. So let me show you what it looks like now. And here is where we currently are. So I got my little July mermaid in there. She's super cute. So let me bring you in closer. So it's hard to see. You can kind of see it, especially in the greens. So she has DMC light effects in her tail, her shells, and her hair. So she's quite glittery, especially in person. And then of course the little seaweed like kelp has glitter in it as well. And she was just super cute. Too much fun to work on. I really love it. I love so July is my birthday month, as I mentioned before, and Ariel is my favorite Disney princess, and she looks very much like Ariel, so I love that this is the block in my month. So the next time you see this, ideally, I will have August done. August is going right here. It's another tall one like this one, and it's unicorns. So let me show you what that looks like. Here is the picture here. So we've got these little white unicorns with a rainbow behind them, which I think is super cute. So this is going to be where hopefully I am the next time this comes up, next update. The next project I worked on, I will have to insert a picture of what it actually looks like because I don't have a printed copy. I've been working off of it on my computer so that I can blow it up because I don't have a tablet. So, wah wah. Anyways, it's this pattern here. It's called She Came Down in a Bubble Dug. It is a reference to a viral Vine video that, for whatever dumb reason, it became really popular on social media, and my sister found a cross-stitch pattern using that dialogue, which is this one, and she requested it for her birthday, which is in September. So that's what I'm putting together for her birthday, and that's also why I didn't put as many stitches in Ophelia, because I wanted to put more in this. I don't believe I have a before picture of where I was last time for you. I haven't been photographing this one because I haven't been posting it on Instagram with updates, solely because my sister follows me on Instagram. If anybody has noticed that, it's not that I'm forgetting. I'm just trying to keep it a secret. Like, she requested the pattern, but I didn't say like, okay, I'll do it for you. I'm trying to keep it a little bit of a surprise. But here's what it looks like now. This is being stitched on an 18 count Ada in the color Vintage. It's a printed Ada. So as you can see, the back is white. The modeling on the front is printed, not dyed. And the last time you saw it, I had done from here over, and I believe here like that over. I think I just barely put in like a little bit of the broom. This little witch character, she looks super cute, right? She is difficult. She is quarter stitches and fractionals and weird back stitching and just riddled with it. So this is part of the reason why I'm doing the pattern on my computer, is because I wanted to be able to blow it up really big so I could see all of the stitching that I needed to see. But she looks really cute now that she's there. So I've been able to finish her, and I moved back this way, finished this line here, and then the am with the little clapping hands emoji. So all that's left is like this section. So the next line is she wore a crown, and she came down in a bubble dug, which is the line that the pattern is named after. And then there's a few more bits of dialogue down here, and then it'll be finished. So this is going to be, I don't necessarily have to have it finished by the end of August. I would like to, because her birthday's at the beginning of September, but I think we're not meeting up with her possibly to celebrate her birthday until later in September. So I think I probably do have more time to work on this, but I really want to push it on this project to get this part done. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I'm able to accomplish. I've been bringing this one to work, which all of my coworkers have been thoroughly entertained by because this is such a weird pattern. I love it. I think my sister will love it. So I don't think I said the Etsy shop this came from. Again, this is called She Came Down in a Bubble Dug, and the Etsy shop is called Landscapes Are Boring. The patterns that she sells are actually just tons of fun. They're mostly pop culture references, but they are very modern in nature. So if you really like that style, or if you're looking more for something like that, go check out her Etsy shop. I'll have it linked down below. I'll have everything humanly possible linked down below, but I will have her Etsy as well. So in addition to those 4 whips, I actually also have 2 new starts for this month. Let's look at those. Oh, my first new start is this one here. This is called In Her Garden. It is a Dimensions Gold Collection kit. I started this one as like a treat to myself, because it's my birthday tag kind of start. I had already planned a July start, but I wanted to do another one because I have all these beautiful Dimensions kits in my stash, and so I thought, why not bust one out and start one for your birthday? So this is the one I started, and I'm really glad that I chose this one because Amy of Fiber Arts Amy is apparently already stitching this with one of her subscribers. So we're kind of going to be all working on it together, which is really cool. When I saw this one, I purchased it pretty fast because it's just so stunning. The background here is an amazing sort of like watercolor dream, and then there's this beautiful stunning lady standing in front with this gorgeous white dress, and so I couldn't pass her up. She's being stitched on an 18 count ivory Ada with all the called for material, or provided kit materials I should say, and the Dimensions kits don't necessarily do 2-over-1 full cross. They do, but they also do a lot of other stuff, which I'm sure most people know. I believe in this one, the biggest trunk of thread is 4 strands. And those, of course, are done half cross. And then there's also 3, 2. I don't think there's any that are just 1 strand unless it's back stitching. There is also cording and couching, especially in her little shawl. But let me show you where I got. So this is a pretty modest start. I just started up here in the corner. And I'm really just so enamored with it. This looks so much like, I don't know, like just a watercolor, like a tapestry even. It's just so beautiful. Most of this green and brown is half crosses. Once we start getting into the flowers, we're getting into full crosses to help kind of bring it forward, which, you know, give it dimension, which I imagine, you know, is where the name of the company comes from. But it's just so lovely and so pretty, and I'm so excited to progress on this, especially with my friends who are also working on this. The other new start that I have for the month of July was one that I had planned previously, and that's this one here. This is called Golden Gate Avenue by Kooler Design Studio. If you've been around my channel for a minute, you were probably familiar with the fact that I just drool over KDS. I love Kooler Design Studio so much. I just think their designs are so cute and fun and whimsical and happy, and I just love them. So I was really excited to get this one started, to finally have another KDS pattern in my rotation. The last one I believe that I did was my Christmas stocking. So it's been a minute, and I was very excited to get this one done. So let me show you where I started. I am stitching this on an 18 count white Aida, 2/1 full cross, all the called fors. And I got to here. So I started in the middle. The middle is like right here. One of these rows, like right over here. Bing, bang, boom. And then I just kind of worked my way up. I did a little bit of back stitching, not too much, mostly in here. Like I got the windows done, the plant life done, and then I just kind of worked up towards the roof. The way the pattern is designed, or not designed, the way that it's printed in here, it's kind of working out to where, so it's in 6 pages, so it's kind of working out to where it's split here and then split between the houses for the most part, which is really cool. There's a little bit of like this one, I think there's like 2 rows that overlap, and then there's overlap in the tree. But I think that's really convenient because it means I can kind of complete a whole house, or like a whole section, and divide the whole pattern into thirds that way, and that'll help with progressing forward. I think it'll make it a little bit easier on me. So like I said, I started in here, literally right there is where I started, and I got this chunk done. This is the biggest house as well, so so getting this part done, I think, will make these two come a little bit easier. Also, I had somebody say that they have this pattern and they were curious about how to go about starting it. I think because it's one of those patterns that doesn't have a border, a middle start is going to be the easiest for you. Now, whether you start in the middle, go down, start in the middle, go up, side to side, obviously that's up to you. I didn't plan to go up, it's just, it worked out that way. And yeah, it's so cute. I really did a good chunk of stitching here, and that's another part of the reason why Ophelia kind of took a back seat, was because I had to actively convince myself to step away from this pattern. I had kind of scheduled like 2 days to work on this so that I could focus on my focuses, and I ended up stitching on this for a week. I just couldn't stop. It was so fun, and I wanted to keep going. I wanted to fill this in and do this back stitching and then go up here, but if I had done that, I wouldn't have been able to do anything else. So those 2 patterns are going into the rotation. They're gonna go with the others, and then they'll come out again next year when I flush out my rotation and then actually start moving through it. All right, we're getting there. The next thing I wanna show you is actually, it's like cross stitch adjacent, but I wanted to share, so I thought this might be a good place to do it. I know a lot of cross stitchers also diamond paint. I started diamond painting, or I picked it up at least during the pandemic, and then I stepped away from it for a while, but I still have a couple of ongoing projects that are just kind of rolled up safely in my closet. But there was one, I remembered there was one that I finished and I never framed it or did anything with it, and I don't know why. So in the last month, I actually framed it. So I wanted to show you that finish. It's not quite cross stitching, but it's very similar. And here it is. Sorry, I'm trying to get the ring light glare out and also show the sparkles. You can kind of see it. Yeah. So this is a diamond painting kit. I believe it's just called Peacock, or it was. I've been able to find it on Amazon, but I purchased it at Michael's, and I don't think they sell it anymore. And the brand of the diamond painting is Diamond Dotz, D-O-T-Z. So yeah, I remember vividly that I was working on this while rewatching Grey's Anatomy for like the 5th time. So I have immediately, this thing brings me back to like McDreamy and the team, if you're familiar. So this, part of the reason the way it took me forever to frame this is because it's an unusual size. The finished size is 14 by 16. So like standard frames, I believe, are like 14 by 18 or 11 by 14 or 16 by 20. So 14 by 16 is impossible to find because it's almost a square. So what I ended up doing was I found a print, like a wall decor with a random print in it. And it was like goats standing in a kitchen, which, I mean, that's cute and it's fun, but that's not what I needed. And the frame itself was 18 by 20. So I knew I would have a nice little border around it if I just took the other artwork out. And then what I did was I finished the edge of the diamond painting. It's almost on like a canvas. I wrapped the edge with a washi tape that was like a peacock color, and then mounted that on the work that was already there. So it's kind of like there's no mat. It's like a faux mat, like it's floating on the artwork that's already in there. It's hatched so that it looks like it has a mat, but it doesn't. And I debated painting the frame, but I was just so like overwaiting getting it finished, so I might paint it another day. And then of course I did my usual craft paper on the back, and I reattached the hanging mechanism that was already on the artwork. And there it is. So that's fun. I mean, again, I know it's not cross stitch, but I know there are people out there that do diamond paint. I would love to get back into diamond painting, but it probably won't happen this year because of the fact that I have so many plans already slotted for the rest of the year with, you know, new starts every month. But next year, once I start moving through my rotation, I think I can, you know, start working in a little bit of diamond painting as well, because I have 3 diamond painting kits from Diamond Art Club in my closet. One of them is almost done. It's time to finish, and it's time to finish it. So I don't plan to like start doing a video on these or making it a regular segment, but you might see more of them in the future. So last, we're just gonna go, I just have the tiniest little bit of haul. I think I have 2 or 3 things, and then a couple plans, and then we're done. Okay, so the first little bit of haul, I'm gonna have to insert a picture here because it is a stitch along that I'm receiving via email from Abby Sue Designs, and it is called the Polaroid Princess Stitch Along. And so I will insert her socials down below so you can reach out to her. I think I don't remember how I went about it. There's instructions on her Instagram for how, I think you just email her and be like, hey, I want to do this, and then she'll send you an invoice, you pay it, and then she sends you the updates every month. So it's a mystery stitch along. I've never really wanted to partake in a mystery stitch along before because I like to know what I'm seeing and what I'm going to be stitching beforehand just to make sure I like it. But I saw I think I saw her first 2 like Polaroids of princesses, and I was like, oh, this is This is great. I can't pass up on this. I love Disney. So I'm still getting updates with more and more Princess Polaroids. But this is where it's at now in the Stitch Along. I believe Pocahontas is the most recent release. And I love that, you know, they all have their own little pose within the little Polaroid. And then it also has in the pattern the year that the movie was released, and they're going in chronological order, which I think is just awesome. So I have that coming. I will show you again probably whenever I have the full thing out, and then I no current plans to start it anytime soon, but I didn't want to pass it up in case once it was fully out, she only had it there for a limited time. So the next little bit of haul I got is actually a magazine. Just Cross Stitch magazine. Now I know a lot of people have subscriptions to this, and so you've all seen this magazine several times by now, I'm sure. I currently do not have a Just Cross Stitch subscription, but the reason why I wanted this one, I was in Joann's and I was looking around, and I was digging through the Cross Stitch and like the books and stuff. But the reason why I wanted this one is there's a couple of patterns in here that I was like, yes. So the first pattern that made me drool was this one here. So this is Mother Nature's Summer, and this is part of a series. So the other issues have these, the other 3 seasons. Summer is beautiful. Though the magazines that were available in store at the time were Summer and then Autumn. And I wasn't necessarily feeling Autumn. She's pretty, don't get me wrong, but this one was the one where I was like, oh, she's beautiful. I just love that, like, her hair is green. She's holding a little rabbit. We got a waterfall as part of her dress. But the other one that I really like is Spring, which is in the April edition. And I did not find that. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could probably purchase the April release, the April edition of the magazine online. I hope. Otherwise, if there's anybody out there that has the April Just Cross Stitch magazine, I would love to chit chat with you because I really do want this pattern from that magazine. I really like this one, and I really like Summer, obviously. So this was one of the reasons why I bought this magazine, but also, I also bought it for this pattern here. So, this is obviously representative of a Luna moth, and I love Luna moths. I had a beautiful Luna moth land on my entryway in front of my front door, and it hung out with me all day long. And I'm obsessed. So I love that this one has a Luna moth. It's got the moon phases, and we've got these little, I call them lightning bugs. People, I mean, I know they have different names all over. I believe people call them by different things, but down where I'm from, these, I call them lightning bugs, with their little light up booties. So I bought it for this pattern too, because I think this is absolutely precious, and I love moths. So there's one more pattern that I think is just really beautiful, and that's this one here. This one is called Summer Breeze, and it's just this beautiful little flower pot with all these gorgeous wildflowers in them, sitting in front of a window, and it looks like the window is open, and so it's just floating in the breeze, and I think that's really beautiful. So there was a couple in, I'm not a big like cross stitch magazine purchaser, because for the most part I might like 1, maybe 2 patterns, but there was a couple in here that I thought, you know, those are pretty good. I can get my money's worth out of this magazine. The next bit of haul I want to show you, I've actually had on my wish list for a while, and then I ended up having a Michael's Rewards voucher, and it was on sale, so I just went ahead and took the plunge on this one, and that is this kit here. This is another DesignWorks kit. You guys know I love DesignWorks, and if you don't, you do now. This one is called, what are you called? Botanical Beauty. So it's just all these beautiful like wildflowers and botanicals with these little butterflies kind of hidden throughout. And y'all, this thing is fat. it is big. So the kit actually comes with an 18 count Aida, white Aida it looks like. And the finished size on this is 22 by 22. So that's like long dog sampler size. In fact, the long dog sampler that I'm doing is 22 by 22. And I'm doing it on a 32 count, which is obviously would be like a 16 count equivalent. This is an 18 count. So there's a lot of like intricate stuff going on in here. And obviously, you know, everything's real spaced out. So this guy's going to be big once I work on it. But it's beautiful, and I had been eyeballing it for a while. So once I had kind of like the financial incentive, I decided to stop dragging my feet and go ahead and purchase it. So lastly, I just wanted to show you real quick. I had talked about, I think last time, that I will be working on Snapdragon by Nora Corbett once I finish Ophelia, and this is going to be my retreat piece. I believe last time was when I had showed you the fabric that I had purchased for this. This is a 32 count Belfast linen in the color Serene. So it was the word was kind of split up, so I had to figure it out for a second. In the color Serene is so it's like this beautiful kind of minty seafoam green color. And I got all of the supplies for it. I just want to show you that it has been kitted. And I think this is easily like my favorite color palette I've ever had in a project. Purple is my favorite color by and large, which is why I picked this pattern. But like, how yummy delicious are all those purples and golds in there? Oh, stop. And then just a couple little beads. Not too many. The good thing about Nora's is that versus a Mira is obviously they're a lot smaller and more manageable. But another reason why I wanted to show you this is because I wanted to give a quick shout out to Paula from Stitching in High Heels. I will link her channel down below. I subscribed to her a while ago. She will also be attending the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and so I will get to meet her there. But she asked me on my last video when I showed the fabric if I was going to do a retreat start, and would I like to start it with her? And yes, absolutely, Paula, I would love to. Any excuse to do cross stitching with a friend, right? So we're already going to the retreat. We're already going to be working on Mira's and Nora's. So this one I would absolutely love to start with you if you would like. If you want to start sooner, by all means, don't wait for me. But yeah, so I just wanted to give her a quick shout out. I love her channel, so go check her out as well. All right, that was all my haul. I just want to go over a couple of quick plans and then we'll say goodbye. So as far as current whips, plan number 1, finish Woodland Castle. It's time. We're gonna finish it. Plan number 2, try and finish. She came down in a bubble dug for my sister's birthday. Or at least, you know, push for one. If I don't get it done, I don't get it done. Like I said last time, she's not gonna stop being my sister. So yeah, I can wait a little bit longer if I need to. Plan number 3, give Ophelia some love. She needs more stitching done on her if I'm ever gonna finish her before the retreat. So those 3 for sure are getting stitched on. If I have to sacrifice time on my magical creatures calendar, so be it. Because those 3 need progress. The other plan is if you're not following Karla Being Crafty at her channel, you are missing out. She is an absolute dear. I love her so much. She's one of the first Flosstube friends I ever made, and I roped her in and I kept her and I didn't give her a choice. So August is the month she was born in. That's her birthday month, and she has a tradition where she does a stitch along, which is the Black Cat birthday sal. The reason why she does a Black Cat birthday sal is because she has a black cat. His name is Bagheera, goes by Baggy, and he is so cute and lovely and goofy, and part of the reason why Karla and I became such fast friends is because I also have a black cat. He frequently appears on the channel. He's asleep in the closet today, so he doesn't care. So I also have a black cat. She has this beautiful purple hair and she loves the color purple. I also love the color purple. Like we just, we're two peas in a pod. Anyways, so last year I participated in her black cat birthday style with this pattern here, which was a pattern I got off of Etsy called Witchy Desk. I know that technically that cat is not black, that cat is gray, but obviously it's meant to be a black cat. So I participated with that one. And then this year I wanted to participate again because I want to celebrate my friend's birthday. And so I'm going to do that with this pattern here. This is a Riolis kit and the name is escaping me at the moment. I want to say it's called like Dream or something. It's something reminiscent of the fact that he's like looking up at the sky. Whatever it is, I'll insert the name down here and then of course I'll link it down below. But it is so cute. Look at this little black kitty with this little smile just looking up at the sky and admiring the world. So Riolis is known for using a wool acrylic blended floss in a lot of its kits. Oftentimes, you know, it is an anchor thread, but for the most part, that's what they're known for, is the wool acrylic thread, which some people despise. I think it's really fun. Yes, it's harder to thread your needle, but the coverage and the texture that it gives on the fabric is phenomenal. I love it. So again, here's the picture. There's not a whole lot of colors. And here is my floss from the kit. So we got 2 things of black. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 colors in total. 2 black. And it is being stitched on a 14 count beige Aida. I believe, I didn't study the pattern too hard, but for the most part, it's going to be 2/1. But much like dimensions, sometimes it's half cross, sometimes it's full, sometimes it's 3 strands, 2 strands, 1 strand. It's a mix. But the last one I did, which was a gift from my mom, but the majority of it was 2/1 full cross. So I'm assuming that's mostly what this little guy is in here. So this is another plan for next month. I just want to get it started. I'm probably going to start actually on the cat because not only is he in the center, I mean, that's the name of the stitch along. And then we'll just see how far I can get. It's a fairly like small, simple pattern, but I don't know if I'll have enough time to actually like finish it in the month of August. And if I don't, that's okay. So yeah, that's everything, guys. I feel winded. Oh, I need water. If you have any questions at all, any comments to make, definitely drop me a comment down below. I love interacting with you guys in the comments. You're so supportive and friendly and kind, and so by all means, just say, if you're new here, definitely say hi. I want to meet you. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, I post all my progress pictures there, as well as a little bit of life updates. That's where I post my reading updates with my reviews. I post all of my quilting finishes there. So if you never want to go check out a quilting video, but you still want to see the finished products, go check out my Instagram. And then of course you're free to reach out to me there as well. There's a couple of subscribers that I regularly interact with on Instagram. Mel, I'm looking at you. And yeah, I'm so grateful for this community because I'm so grateful to have so many new friends since I started making these videos. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm about to actually go into work, so I need to change clothes and actually put on some scrubs. And then I'll see you guys at the end of August, hopefully with a couple of finishes under my belt. Keep your fingers crossed for me, okay? If you are in the South, like me, do your best to stay cool. Be safe. Hydrate. Take breaks. Heat stroke is real, you guys. We've been flirting with 105-degree temperatures for weeks and weeks, and we just started August, which is the hottest month of the year. So if you're in the South, be safe. If you're in the North and temps are high for you and you're not used to that kind of heat, again, be safe. I know that you guys don't always have air conditioning, which breaks my heart because I feel like air conditioning is a right. And that's everything. Okay, guys, I will see you again at the end of August. Be safe, be happy, be crafty, do lots of stitching, create all the things, and I'll talk to you again in a month. Bye.